Watch this.
The DOJ is suing the small panhandle town of Troy for denying a controversial church the use of a building. But it's apparently not about Christ Church or even what the community thinks of it. So, what is it then? Can you spell confidence? Well, that's what this Eagle sixth grader has and is bringing to the National Spelling Bee. Safe to say he can spell that word and a whole lot more.
I will miss so much of it, but I think sometimes you just know when it's time.
As the school year comes to a close, so does a 3.5-decade career. It seems everyone can remember their first grade teacher, and for more than 700 students, Mrs. Taylor will be hard to forget. Well, there's another controversy surrounding the controversial Christ Church in North Idaho, this time outside the city of Moscow by about 12 miles, where Christ Church was started by Pastor Doug Wilson. The far-right evangelical church has been highlighted for its teachings and beliefs, mostly about submissive women, how slavery wasn't that bad, and its approach to the LGBTQ community. Pastor Wilson was also at the center of defending a North Idaho man convicted of molesting multiple children and then officiating his wedding after he got out of prison. For those reasons, among others, the people of Troy spoke out in council meetings, saying they did not want a Christ Church affiliate in their town. Well, the Department of Justice believes this is religious persecution and has filed a lawsuit against the town of Troy. The town's attorney, meanwhile, says it's not about that at all. It's about a zoning code. Here's Joe Paris.
A lawsuit filed by the Department of Justice against a small Idaho town. The lawsuit accuses Troy, Idaho, of discriminating against a religious group that wants to use an event center for worship.
I'm the owner of a building in Troy, Idaho, and I submitted a conditional use permit to allow my building to be rented by a church.
Matt Meyer is an elder within Christ Church of Troy, an affiliate church of the one in Moscow, Idaho. He saw the rejection of the conditional use permit as a violation of the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act. So he reached out to the Department of Justice about it.
Surprise, surprise, they actually responded.
That was in 2023, and Meyer really didn't hear anything as the federal investigation continued. He says over the 2-year time frame, though, the church used the event space and felt it went smoothly.
All the things that were raised as critical issues never came to pass. There were no parking issues. There was no traffic issues. There were no problems with the neighborhood. There was no sound. There was no anything.
We aren't interfering with any churches. We're trying to maintain a 2-block business district.
Todd Richardson is the city attorney for Troy. He says the city tried to negotiate an agreement that would fix the situation.
I mean, for 2.5 years, the city of Troy has tried to work with people to come to a resolution that would make sense. And for 2.5 years, they've been saying no.
Richardson cites poor communication with the DOJ, but says there is a solution here, one that requires negotiation. The lawsuit says that the city treated religious assemblies less favorably than non-religious assemblies by requiring churches to obtain conditional use permits while allowing similar non-religious assemblies to operate as permitted uses in the same district. City of Troy pushed back, saying it's about scale and scope.
In the past, an event center in Troy has been 8 or 10 times a year, and bring it on. We want that. But now when we want to do up to 150 times a year, okay, let's tighten this up so that people understand this 2-block section is our economic engine and we're going to try to preserve it.
Supporters of the church believe there is fair reason to believe the community just doesn't want them there. That was made apparent in public testimony.
The response by a number of people in the community was pretty negative.
The Department of Justice agrees, writing that the CUP imposed a substantial burden on Christ Church and was based on the community's discriminatory animus against the church.
We don't have anything against Christ Church, but we're asking everybody to be good neighbors and to help build the economic engine of this city instead of tear it down.
I wasn't trying to attack the city, and I don't think the federal government is trying to attack the city. I just think there were decisions that were made that were incorrect.
They imply and suggest and insinuate that we dislike Christ Church. That's simply untrue. Whether there is regional agreement or disagreement with Christ Church is of no relevance.
It would just be dumb easy for them to just say, yeah, continue meeting. We haven't noticed anything, all the things that we complained about, at the hearing and the appeal, none of those things have come to pass. We still have some angry people in town who don't like you, but none of the other.
So when you hear from the city attorney, he truly believes that communication with the federal government, the Department of Justice, and the Christ Church Fellowship really could have led to a solution before this big lawsuit. The city attorney we heard from kind of sees this as a bullying tactic from the federal government, because there are a few different ways this could turn out, and no matter by hook or by crook, it's going to end up likely in Christ Church being able to continue to use that space, the event center. The thing, though, that the city attorney and the people of Troy are kind of pushing for is that it's comparison to, like, in the city of Boise, for example, their perspective, the city of Boise. When there's a Boise State game day, a lot of people flood to downtown. And we know that some people avoid the downtown corridor in downtown Boise because a lot of people are out there for the games. The comparison is that when this church has their events there are so many people in the community that are part of this, it floods the downtown area, this business corridor, making it harder for businesses that are unaffiliated to do their job.
Well, if there's so many people that are attending and in favor of this, where's the animosity coming from? I know much has been made on podcasts and such about Christ Church and what they stand for and what they do. If there's so many people there, where's the animosity coming from then?
And there are people that lived in Troy before this really was set up, and they are very clear about their opinions, but the conditional use permit, they say, not related to this.
All right, so still waiting on that lawsuit then?
Yes, we'll see what happens.
2023. Thanks, Joe. Well, the repercussions for Idaho's Dr. Ryan Cole because of his medical stance and practices during the pandemic have now been felt within the boundaries of Idaho. This week, Dr. Cole agreed to the same punishment stipulated by the Washington Medical Commission about a year and a half ago. Almost as soon as the COVID-19 pandemic took hold, and especially immediately after the COVID vaccine was introduced, Dr. Cole was out there spreading disinformation about the disease and the vaccine. And the pathologist went as far as prescribing ivermectin to patients via an instant messaging platform. And for all of that, the Washington Medical Commission, back in January of 2024, restricted his medical license in the Evergreen State for 5 years, meaning Dr. Cole could not practice primary care medicine or prescribe medications. He could only practice pathology. Not only that, in order to keep his medical license valid in Washington, Dr. Cole had to attend classes on COVID-19, respiratory diseases, record keeping, and telehealth. He also had to write a 1,000-word essay on professionalism, truthfulness, and honesty in medicine, and then also pay a $5,000 fine. So now those same requirements in Washington will also apply in Idaho. While still denying those allegations and while waiting for an appeal, Dr. Cole agrees to comply with the Washington order and report on that compliance with Idaho's Board of Medicine. No other penalties or fines will apply, meaning there's not going to be additional fines or any classes he has to attend. But in signing the order, Dr. Cole acknowledges the board has enough evidence to bring disciplinary action against his Idaho license. So what took so long? Well, any investigation by Idaho's Board of Medicine is confidential, so we don't and probably won't know how long they've been looking into Dr. Cole. We did reach out to Dr. Cole and to Central District Health to find out if or how this might impact his spot on the CDH board. We have yet to hear back about that. Well, a big, beautiful bill was busting at the seams with budgets, apparently, except for one that would have stripped our public lands here in Idaho. Aspen Shumpert tells us more in today's 411.
Unsealed court documents are revealing more detailed accusations of sex crimes against 58-year-old Gregory Jones, a pastor at Liberty Christian Fellowship who was charged with forcible penetration and human sex trafficking. Court documents show a victim and a member of Jones's church told investigators about several instances of abuse that happened last fall inside the church building. His preliminary hearing is set for July.
On this vote, the yeas are 215, the nays are 214, with one answering present. The bill is passed.
The U.S. House of Representatives passed President Trump's big, beautiful budget bill early this morning by one vote. There's a lot in there except for the amendment pitching the disposal of 500,000 acres of public land which was stripped from the bill. You can watch our previous reporting on the threat to Idaho public lands right now on KTVB+. Simply download on your TV and watch for free. An archaeology dig is set to start on Monday, June 2nd through the 13th at the historic Assay office in Boise. You can help students and faculty from the University of Idaho and Boise State with excavations from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for free. Just contact Mark Warner on the email on your screen. And that's the 411 on the 208. I'm Aspen Shumpert.
Well, today is the official start to summer vacation for the Boise School District, which might invoke the same response for the nearly 23,000 students and more than 1,700 teachers scattered across the 46 different schools. Yay! But for one elementary school teacher in Boise, this last day usually comes with the send-off of, well, see you next year. But for Mrs. Tammy Taylor at Lowell, that phrase won't be part of her farewell this year, as the first grade teacher is saying goodbye for the last time after 35 years in the classroom.
Okay, come on in.
In most elementary schools,
Here we go.
the month of May
Everybody have a seat.
means the end of the year
Have a seat, have a seat.
is near,
Okay.
which usually means the enthusiasm
We're going to start.
is also just within reach.
First grade classrooms can be very busy places.
All right, friends.
Mrs. Taylor's first grade class at Lowell Elementary is no exception.
It's like organized chaos, you know, in a way.
I'm a famous person.
And when you add a camera to that classroom,
Hi.
well, that energy can generate
Hi.
quite a few sudden close-ups.
Which team is going to get? Oh, Elliot, that is a red choice.
Corralling chaos is something Mrs. Taylor has done
I want you to draw a large smile shape.
for more than 3 decades.
Well, I love their energy, right? I mean, they're just so excited about everything that we do.
She's magical. She is caring. She makes every kid feel special.
And then, of course, we want to give Mom some eyelashes.
I mean, she's bubbly and friendly, and she makes learning fun.
She's really fun.
She knows how to generate that curiosity in kids and channel it into positive energy.
Try it on the paper and see if you like it.
Starting out, Mrs. Taylor didn't think she'd find herself in the first grade,
Do you guys have any special plans?
but her short time as a student teacher taught her otherwise.
And I fell in love with the littles, and I do think that it is kind of where I was meant to always be. Giving my mom kind of some texture with her hair.
She did spend 3 years in 3rd grade and some time in 2nd, even kindergarten.
You just see the light bulbs go on every day. Down, 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 down. Excellent.
But now, Mrs. Taylor is finishing her career
Okay, leave it right here and then I'll fix it.
where it first began
Do you love it? I do too.
and retiring after 35 years.
1990 was my first year teaching in the classroom. I have seen such an evolution. When I started teaching, we didn't have computers. We didn't have phones in the classroom. Change is a lot faster than it was when I first started teaching.
About the only thing that hasn't changed is maybe Mrs. Taylor.
It's the hair. I've never changed the hair. It gets a little longer, a little shorter, but it's always kind of the hair.
Except,
Watch this.
really,
Perfection.
she has.
Yay! Well, we're supposed to. And I think that's so, like, as an educator, we have to be willing to change. Okay, let's see here.
Perhaps nothing profiled
I
that
love that picture of your mom.
more than trying to teach through a pandemic.
I just would have never thought in my lifetime that I would have experienced something like that. But I think we talk a lot with kids about having a growth mindset and how you have to be flexible and go with things. And that's what COVID really taught us, because it was impossible for me as a kindergarten teacher to think about how I was going to teach kindergarten over a computer. I knew right from
Those
that
challenges,
moment
Mrs. Taylor
just
says,
how
is what makes
strong
this job
and
worth it.
slow. I mean, teaching is one of those jobs. It's like the hardest thing you'll ever love, I think, sometimes, you know? You share your deepest wishes.
As
all
for
the
advice for
things
teachers
you
just
want
starting
to
out,
do,
from someone just wrapping up,
I would say you need to hang in there, because there's going to be amazing days and there's going to be hard days. And those happen even after you've taught for 35 years, because they're kids, right? And kids are unpredictable, and every year it's a new bunch with new needs and new joy and new personalities. Oh, okay.
kids that will likely leave one with a lot of new memories.
It says, "Dear Mrs. Taylor, I am going to miss you." Sad face. I hope you will miss me. Happy face.
Happy faces are usually pretty prevalent on the last day of school,
Okay, we can do it. Come on, Bjorn.
but on this last day of school,
Normal, normal, normal. It's a normal day.
there's really nothing normal
This one's going to be really tough.
about it.
I've always really loved the job. It's fit me perfectly.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a wonderful summer and a great year in second grade.
Too.
Yeah, I just have never second guessed my decision of being a teacher. See you, Tino.
More than 5,400 days
Okay, are we ready to head out?
in the classroom.
Oh, all the hugs. I know. I'm gonna miss you guys.
Guiding well above 750 kids.
It's never goodbye. It's just see you later.
In 35 years of teaching.
I'm gonna miss you guys. Oh, I know all those. Yes. Bring it in. Let's bring it in. Bring it in. I'm gonna miss it greatly. It's been a joy. All of it. All of it. Bye. Bye. See you later.
I mean, we all remember our first grade teacher, right? Sister Claire, first grade, St. Pat's. We know Mrs. Taylor isn't the only teacher retiring this year, but after 35 years, well, she was the longest tenured teacher stepping away at Boise School District, and that says something. Ms. Taylor told us today it's been a roller coaster of emotion these past few weeks, but no longer being a teacher likely won't hit her finally and fully until the fall, when she should be usually getting ready for another school year. However, her principal, Mrs. Griffiths, she's not going to hesitate to call when she needs a substitute. All right, spelling the word lidocaine might sound a bit painful to some, but for one sixth grader from Eagle, it was the cure-all that punched his ticket to one of the most prestigious academic competitions in the country. The path to National Spelling Bee isn't just about sleeping with a dictionary by the bed or memorizing word origins, but as Hunter Funk explains, it did take some grit and a confident kid who's proving he just might be the best speller in the state and in the country.
My name is Sonu Murali Mohan. SONUMURALIMOHAN. Sonu Murali Mohan.
Is that the easiest word to spell?
Yeah, basically. Because it's my name, so I've seen it written so many times. I also write it on my own, so it's the easiest word to write.
This sixth grader from Eagle Middle School will be spelling his way to Maryland. But this isn't his first time picking up the dictionary. 3 years ago, the word clickbait got him out of the local race.
Because I never knew the word, and the word bait has two spellings, B-A-T-E or B-A-I-T. So it was actually B-A-I-T, but I said B-A-T-E, so I got out.
But that string of misspelling didn't stop him. This year, he didn't just win the local spelling bee, but conquered regionals.
My winning word was lidocaine. So
How do you spell lidocaine?
Lidocaine, Lidocaine, lidocaine. And lidocaine is like the disease of like bones that. So yeah, I asked the definition and I remembered the word and I spelled it out and I won the regionals.
Lidocaine and 3,999 other words are handed over in a binder to be memorized, defined, and practiced.
The easier part is the regional words are the exact same for the national words.
Oh, so you've already learned that.
Yeah.
In the National Bee, after 2 rounds, they can ask any word.
So there's like tons of words. Like maybe 100,000 maybe.
But Sonu isn't worried. He knows the roots.
Are you excited and also nervous at the same time?
No, I'm kind of like just excited. 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 Just go up there and be on stage.
Do you hope you win?
Yep.
Do you know you're gonna win?
Yeah, because I'm very confident. 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 Confident.
He's one of 4 Idaho students heading to the Bee this year, and one of 247 across the country. As for the payout he gets for being smart,
dollar bills. DOLLABILLZ. Dollar bills.
But the spelling bee isn't just about money. It's about meaning. For Sonu, that includes his teacher.
I appreciate Miss Johns sponsoring it, so that without her sponsoring it, I wouldn't have a chance to actually go into the regionals or the nationals.
His classmates.
They're also giving me confidence that I can win.
And the kids watching him.
I think it helped help show courage to other kids who think spelling's hard to actually try to do it.
And he competes this Saturday, so we're going to see if he gets the $50,000 like he says he is.
You mean dollar bills?
Dollar bills, y'all.
That's what he's hoping for.
I will also say he was very anxious to get back to class today. He was
Really?
like, are we done? You know, he's kind of like, I need to go back and learn.
I got stuff to do. 4,000 words. Yeah, you can't waste any time.
Yeah, and then after that, so that's first and second round. After that, as he says, 100,000 words.
Wow, I don't even know if I have that many in my vocabulary.
Yeah,
That's
no.
amazing. Good for him. Well, good luck to him. All right, thanks, Hunter. All right, as we head into the Labor Day weekend, not yet, almost there, still only Thursday. We got one more day. Let's get to your comments, though, for today, this Thursday. This one sent in about public lands from Ted in Boise. These would-be thieves won't stop trying to sell off our public lands. They've talked about this for years. How short-sighted to sell off those lands for a one-time profit and lose those lands for all future generations of Idahoans. I want my grandkids to enjoy our wonderful public lands. This conversation likely will continue, but right now, not necessarily part of that bill or that big, beautiful bill that is now passed the House. Let's go to the next one here. See what we have to say from Melissa. Congratulations on your retirement, Tammy. I just finished my 34th year teaching and will be back next year because I am still loving it. My junior high kids are gobsmacked when I tell them I'm older than Google. Yeah, there's a lot of things for teachers these days that have to kind of play. Remember when I was a kid? I know there's a lot of stuff out there that has changed. And as Tammy Taylor said, it changes so rapidly these days with everything just kind of online and at the access. Last one here for today. I remember being in grade school at Whitney many years ago. I had a teacher, fourth grade, could write the first name with their left hand, your last name with the right hand at the same time. Never seen anybody do that, says Bob. Ambidextrous, that's what that's called. That is pretty impressive. Teachers can do a lot, even that. I'd like to see Sonu spell ambidextrous. I bet he can. Ambidextrous. I always throw an extra I in there. Thanks for watching. We'll be back here to do it again tomorrow. Have a good night.
Continue with us and watch free now on the KTVB Plus app everywhere you stream.